Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, everyone. This is such an exciting time. We are going to, really delve into Delta 8, one of our newest products that you're going to be ordering very, very soon, which is our Power Delta 8 cartridges. We're going to talk about Delta 8. We're going to talk about cartridges. We're going to talk about vaping. We're going to talk about how to properly vape and what batteries to look for and things like that. But this amazing product is a power product, which means it does contain the legal limit of THC, which is 0.3% or less, along with the CBD and Delta 8. 25 milligrams of CBD. It's going to come in two flavors. We're going to roll out the watermelon first, and then the lemon. Next slide. So the ingredients are listed here. Again, when we talk about cartridges, we talk about vaping. Vaping has a bad rap. We know last year, several, hundreds of people were either hospitalized due to bad products that they were vaping, or they died. And what we found after the FDA did a lot of studies on those products, they found they were absolutely not Wakana products, but they were products that were sold in unregulated areas. Like, some people don't like when you say the black market, but they were sold on the streets pretty much. And what they found in those products were not only harmful fillers like rat poison and fentanyl and different other opioids, but they found that they used vitamin E. Vitamin E, which sounds really benign, like it wouldn't hurt anyone. But when you heat up vitamin E, becomes very toxic to the lungs. So when people were vaping, they were using these e-cigarettes, they were vaping cartridges. When the vitamin E was heated and started an inflammatory process in the lungs, it causes the lungs to collapse. It caused a lot of people to go into respiratory distress and then cardiac arrest, and they died. So just know that our products don't contain rat poison, they don't contain vitamin E, they don't contain fentanyl, they don't contain any of those very harmful products that the FDA found in those vape products last year. So we use as our carrier oil MCT coconut oil, along with the Delta 8, which we'll talk about, along with our CBD watermelon flavor extract. And of course, our products are sourced from the hemp species of the cannabis plant, which makes it legal. In 2018, when the Farm Bill was passed, any constituent that comes from the hemp species is legal to consume, to sell, to cultivate in all 50 states. So Delta 8, yes, is legal in all 50 states. And yes, because this is a power product, if you have random drug screens at your job, please, this is a product that you would not be able to use. This is a product that is quickly absorbed in the bloodstream. We're going to talk about what bioavailability means and the different products and their bioavailability. We're going to talk about when you look at a topical versus a tincture versus a vape versus an edible. But when we vape, the onset of action, which means the ability for you to feel a change in your body, happens pretty quickly. It happens within 1 to 5 minutes of pulling on a cartridge that you will feel an effect. So vaping is probably the highest product that will give you quick bioavailability, but just know that it works very quickly in 1 to 5 minutes, but it's only probably in the body giving you relief for about an hour or two. So that's why we talk about using all of our products together. Next slide. So let's look at the cannabinoids. You know, we talk about CBD all the time, and that's why this product not only has the Delta 8, but it also has CBD and the legal limit of THC. So this is a specialty product. Delta 8 is like Delta 9's cousin. It's a hot product, really, really popular with millennials, the younger age groups, because it gives the body and it gives the brain that relief that they're looking for. Relief being from all the things we talk about that CBD relieves, as far as anxiety, as far as inflammation and pain, as far as improving with sleep, insomnia. But it also has its very special um, results on a lot of other things. One being helping with those who need help with an appetite as well. We'll get into those with Delta 8, but just know that CBD has a long list of medicinal properties, and Delta 8 THC does as well, not just relieving pain. And we'll go over that tonight. Next slide. So again, what is the big deal with Delta 8? Next slide. So when we talk about THC, there are many different types of THC. As you saw, there's THCV, there's Delta 8, Delta 9. These are analogs, but we do know that the Delta 9 THC, Delta 9 tetrahydrocannabinol, that's the compound that is mind altering. That's the part of the THC that gives us the high, that gives us the euphoria, that gives us the paranoia. But it's the Delta 8 THC that is Delta 9's cousin that delivers more of the wellness benefits. It does have a sort of mild psychoactive potency to it. It doesn't get you high like Delta 9, but that's why so many people are really looking to use the Delta 8, because it's like a Delta 8 and a CBD and a Delta 9 all built up in one, but it does has its very unique sort of boutique medicinal properties. Next slide. So Delta 8 THC again is known for helping to reduce nausea and vomiting. So this would be a great product for those who have reflux, who have GERD, who have any gastrointestinal sort of conditions that they absolutely can address using this vape cartridge in 1 to 5 minutes. It helps to reduce stress and anxiety, another big issue that we all have. You know, today we vaccinated over 140 people. You know, 140 people was a lot. It was very stressful. It was very chaotic. You know, people are in droves trying to get vaccinated. Many hospitals don't have enough vaccines already. So Delta 8, I'm going to be really looking forward to using in these upcoming days. It helps to stimulate appetite. You know, many people who are undergoing chemotherapy, any treatment for cancer, may find this product really, really beneficial because it really does help stimulate the appetite. Now, you may ask, well, if I use it and I don't want my appetite stimulated, will it do that? And that's the beauty of the endocannabinoid system. See, the endocannabinoid system keeps our body in balance. So our body, if it's lacking areas, the products will address those areas. So if you're not needing your appetite to be stimulated, like in someone who is receiving chemotherapy or someone who is receiving some sort of treatment that reduces their appetite, then you're fine. But absolutely, this would be a great product for anyone that you know and loves that are going through those treatments. HIV, AIDS, A lot of those patients need help with their appetite. It reduces pain. Pain is probably the number one reason people seek alternatives for addressing pain. They're looking for alternatives other than Motrin, other than Aleve. See, these medications that we think are very benign, over the counter, cause havoc on our kidneys, cause havoc on our liver. That's why we see so many dialysis centers, because now we're seeing people that are 20, 30 years have been using Motrin and Aleve and ibuprofen for their knee pain or their shoulder pain or their back pain. And over time, it causes our kidneys to fail. So Delta 8 THC is absolutely a great addition for those who want to address their pain quickly within 1 to 5 minutes with this cartridge. And another medicinal property for Delta 8 that's really important is that it protects the cells, structure, and function of the nervous system. So the nervous system can be affected from someone having a stroke or someone having a lot of the neurological degenerative conditions like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia. All of these neurodegenerative conditions can be addressed with Delta 8 THC. Next slide. So again, the health benefits of Delta 8, number one, the stomach. Again, if you know anyone or maybe you yourself are suffering from gastrointestinal reflux, a lot of the GERD, a lot of that really annoying discomfort due to acids refluxing from the stomach through the esophagus, Delta 8 will aid in that. Will also aid in nausea and vomiting. Again, appetite. And then the brain, again, the neuroprotective properties, not only that CBD has, but Delta 8 has in aiding in the regeneration or the protection of the nerves that could have been damaged from stroke, from things like Parkinson's and dementia. It also helps and promotes memory retention. So we talked about Alzheimer's a couple of months back, or maybe a month back. We talked about how if you are able to catch Alzheimer's, dementia early, in this early phases, you can start to reduce the inflammation in the nervous cells and the amyloid plaques in the brain. You can actually improve the quality of life in someone in the early stages. A pain, again, we talk about receptors in the body, and that's how cannabis works. There are receptors throughout the entire body. Well, we know that Delta 8 primarily binds to CB1 receptors and CB2 receptors. Now, CB1 receptors are found in the brain. And if you don't know already, the brain modulates and regulates pain perception in our body. So that's why Delta 8 is so amazing when it comes to pain, because it binds with the CB1 receptors in the brain that are modulating and regulating the perception of pain in the body. Sleep. Delta 8, again, is helping with sleep. The pathways in our brain for sleep are really important to address. You know, they did a study where they deprived mice of sleep, and those mice, those studies showed that they died. You know, we all need sleep. We all need 7 to 9 hours of sleep. People say, Dr. Rita, I sleep fine. But is it restorative sleep? Is it the sleep that gets you in the REM area where you're able to wake up and feel restored? When we sleep, our immune system resets itself. During this global pandemic, if we don't have that restorative sleep, our immune system can't be the strongest it should be during this global pandemic. So Delta 8 is very, very, very relaxing. It helps you get into that REM restorative sleep. It's also good to reduce anxiety. So it's an anxiolytic. It means that it reduces anxiety. It helps calm the body and the mind, and it also energizes the body. When you have a lot of stress and anxiety, it causes fatigue. So yes, that circle that happens, which is a catch 22, right? It helps to reduce anxiety, it helps to bring calmness, and it helps to energize the body. And then there's some anecdotal evidence that shows that this delta 8 actually helps to leave a clear-headed person when we talk about hangover. So it's also been shown to help with the hangover, to reduce that nausea, to reduce that hangover feeling, fatigue as well. So those are some of the many benefits of delta 8. Next slide. So again, what makes delta 8 THC special? Well, it's special because it does have a mild psychotropic potency. It's a lot less than delta 9, but what makes it special is that it does bind to CB1 receptors, those pain perception receptors in the brain, as well as CB2 receptors, those CB2 receptors that are found throughout the entire body, that also are found in the stomach, that are found in the pathways that regulate and modulate anxiety, as well as other pain receptors in the CB2 receptor sites in the endocannabinoid system. So it's a really, really great combination of a cousin to delta 9, giving you those sort of psychotropic potency, but not high, but giving you that also CBD sort of properties of giving you that health and that pain relief, anxiety relief, as well as relief for those who have gastrointestinal issues as well. So I love the fact that delta 8 is a new kid on the block. It's a cousin, so to speak, to delta 9. Next slide. So bioavailability, what does bioavailability mean? Because some of you may be asking, I still don't understand why I would use a delta 8 cartridge. Well, this is a great chart that kind of shows you why I advocate every single week to layer and to use all of our products. Why? Because every sort of way that you can consume or deliver CBD to the body, the bioavailability is different. And you can see easily in this chart, the method that has the highest bioavailability, meaning that CBD is able to get into the cellular area quickly, is vaping, right? Within 1 to 5 minutes, that product, that delta 8 cartridge, is in your system, giving you relief. We'll look at the least bioavailability, and that's the topical. The topicals, then next would be capsules, next would be your edibles, your gummies, and then your tinctures. Remember, in each phase of delivering CBD to the body, it has to go through certain processes. For example, when you eat our gummies, right, it takes about 30 to 40 minutes to get into the system. Why? Because when you eat a gummy, it's got to go through the stomach, it's got to go through the liver, and then it gets out to the bloodstream to have an effect on the body. When you use a tincture, it takes about 15 minutes to get into the bloodstream, right? You put the tincture under your tongue, you hold it for a minute before you swallow, and then it's got to go through the process of getting through the bloodstream as well, about 15 to 20 minutes. Topicals offer local relief. And though we know our topicals offer local relief pretty quickly, the bioavailability, meaning the amount that is available to the body, is at a much lower amount than a vape cartridge. So vaping, the bioavailability is about 98%. A tincture is about 80%. Your gummies are about 60%, and those topicals are about 45 to 50%. So it's the amount of CBD or amount of delta 8 THC that can be absorbed in the body. And it really truly is based on the method they're using to consume. That's why if you have, for instance, pain due to arthritis, and you want to address that pain due to arthritis, absolutely you want to use that delta 8 THC vape cartridge that's coming out. You also want to use the tincture under the tongue twice a day. You're also going to want to use that gummy at night. And you're going to want to use that topical in the areas that cause discomfort whenever you need it. So you're always having a CBD level that's constant and steady in your body. But what I love about vape cartridges is that, again, when you are addressing acute conditions and you need relief within 1 to 5 minutes, that vape cartridge is what you're going to want to do. Next slide. So again, we have, our other cartridges, our other smokables. Again, our Delta 8 will be along with our CBD. It's a power product. Again, you want to not use any of our power products if you are using or having drug screens at your job. But our smokable CBD joint, our raspberry jane, and our hypnotic vape oil will always be available. Next slide. Again, our edibles, our gummies, our broad spectrum, or our power. You know, our broad spectrum products are our products that are pure. They contain less than 0.0% or less of THC, and they are really great for those who have random drug screens. And then our power gummies on the right, those are full spectrum. They contain the legal limit of THC, 0.3% or less. You always want to use those gummies throughout the day if you need, but I absolutely use a gummy every single night to help that restorative sleep. Next slide. Our topicals, again, we have 3 topicals. Again, on the bioavailability chart, it's topicals, edibles, tinctures, and then vapes. Always, I use and recommend that you layer all of these products so that you have a steady state of CBD in your system at all times. Next slide. So these are some of the batteries that you want to purchase or you can purchase for your cartridge. We don't sell batteries at Wakana, but you want to purchase a battery that will not overheat your cartridge. Whenever you talk about CBD, Delta 8, THC, you don't want to overheat these products because if you overheat them, 1, they can cause a bitter taste, and 2, you're going to heat and burn away all the medicinal properties, right? So you're just going to be ruining your money. So you want to find a battery truly that does not get any higher than 250 MAHs. So that is something that is very easy to see on the battery before you purchase them. You can go on Amazon. I like the BB Tank battery. That's the one that kind of looks like the one on the far right bottom corner. But there are some that are very expensive, some that are very inexpensive, but just know that you do not want to overheat your cartridge, the oil in the cartridge. There are even some batteries that are adjustable, right? They will adjust the heat. They will adjust to very low heats to very high heats. So 250 MAHs is really where you want to be around. 250, 350, no higher than that. Next slide. Next slide. So again, when we talk about Delta 8 THC, the National Cancer Institute, they actually have done lots of studies on Delta 8 THC, and they really found that this particular byproduct of the hemp is very, very important in reducing nausea and vomiting. So it's an isomer of hemp with anti-emetic properties that's reducing nausea and vomiting. It's a product of hemp that has anxiolytic properties. That means it reduces anxiety. It's an isomer of hemp that helps to stimulate the appetite. It is a isomer of hemp that is an analgesic, so it helps with pain. And it's an isomer of hemp that is neuroprotective. So it helps to protect those nerves that may have been damaged due to stroke, dementia, or Parkinson's. So the National Cancer Institute has defined and found that this cousin of Delta 9, which is Delta 8, is amazing, right? So anxiolytic, antiemetic, and an analgesic. So think of the 3 A's or the 4 A's, as well as appetite stimulant. So just a powerful, powerful cannabinoid that the hemp plant that is a new cousin of Delta 9. Next slide. Wonderful. So what we're going to do now is we're going to stop sharing the screen. And what we want to do is we want to demonstrate how to properly vape, because many of you are super excited, as I am, to order the Delta 8 cartridge. I have Minister Mooney, who is an expert at vaping. I personally, I love vaping. But unfortunately, long story short, I'm still at the hospital since Monday. It's a long story. We'll make it short. So, of course, I don't have my vape pen, which is at home. So I'm going to have Minister Mooney demonstrate how to properly vape and how easy it is. And for one, I personally, as a physician, don't recommend people who have severe respiratory conditions to vape, like COPD, emphysema. I honestly don't recommend them vaping. I would rather see them use the tincture, use our gummies, and not be vaping as their very first line of using our product. So Minister Mooney, without any further ado, thank you so much.
Vaping is simple. So most of you will have this pen device, right, that Dr. Rita showed us. And let me start from the beginning.
Yeah.
So this is our cartridge, right, that comes with Wakana, right? And it's just simple. It has little screws on the bottom here. Let me, yep, see that?
Yep.
Cool. So I take the pen, it's also called a battery, and I just screw this on like this. Simple. Just like that. And then that's the same thing if you get the one that she showed you that had the same device. It's called a 510 pin. So make sure you see that, a 510 pin for your device. And it's simple. You cut the device on. Most devices will say, well, 5 clicks or 3 clicks, something like that. And while you press the button, you pull. So, and it's so fun. I mean, it's so amazing. And well, disclaimer, this is my first time ever, not now, but previous to Wakana, I've never tried vaping, smoking, but I tell you, the anxiety relief, and oh my God, the relief is amazing. So here we go. I love doing this. Just that simple. So that's one pull. Let's do 3, all right?
Okay, we'll do 3. 1 to 3 pulls is all you need.
Pull number 2. No high, But the the aromatherapy, amazing. Ooh, yes. Praise God. That's what I'm talking about. And that's it. It's just that simple. All right. Now, as Dr. Rita said, don't overheat your oil, right? You'll notice it'll turn a color and it'll look burnt. You don't want to do that. That means your heat is up too high. So you can have devices that actually said 250 mAh, 350 mAh, 2 volts, 2.5 maximum, don't 2.8, 3, over 3 is too hot. Don't do any preheating or anything like that. It is not necessary. And just small, I'm a big guy, so I take long pulls, but short pulls is nice, right? And just maximum 3 pulls max. Don't go over 3 pulls.
So
All
are
right.
you swallowing?
Sometimes I don't swallow. No, do not swallow. Don't do that.
Right.
But I will. Okay, let me show you another way that I particularly vape that I love, and it gives me that onset of action that I really need, especially if I'm doing a presentation. So I'll do one more. So what I'll pull, inhale, blow out. So let me try that again. I don't swallow. I do inhale sometimes. Sometimes I'll hold because it gets in your mucous membrane. So you can pull, hold it in your mouth and just blow out, or pull. And what I did the last time, I inhaled. So I went and I just blew out. And I blew out of my nose, my mouth, it doesn't matter. But don't swallow. All right. You don't want it to get in. You don't want to do that.
Perfect.
Right.
And this is how it's getting in the bloodstream.
In the
Like
bloodstream.
an
Exactly.
experiment, he said, it is being absorbed in the mucous membranes
Mhm.
and then being delivered to the bloodstream. So you
Right.
don't need to just swallow, but you absolutely can take a pull,
Yep.
inhale, and blow out.
Yep. So pull. So can you go through the steps with me?
Yes.
Yep. Verbally.
Pull, inhale, blow out.
That's it.
I feel like I'm in the labor room. Breathe, inhale, okay, push.
But look, you
Yeah,
all
Just
don't
gave
believe the
birth to a
hype.
vapor.
The
right.
calm, amazing, 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 amazing. The clarity for our vapes is amazing. Our products are amazing. So do not believe the hype. I've been vaping since I've been with Wakana, and it has been a great resolve for some of the things, for me personally, some of the things that I was dealing with. I don't sweat ferociously and all of that good stuff.
Dr. Rita, can you elaborate more about why you should not swallow?
Um, because of the vapors, is the vapors are much more safer than a lot of the combustible sort of chemicals that you'll get when you're smoking a cigarette. So let's pretend like you're smoking a cigarette with nicotine, and
Mhm.
some people will inhale or swallow the smoke. It's the same thing. It's not necessary because it's being absorbed in the bloodstream through the mucosa membranes. So it's
Exactly.
an unnecessary procedure to do. It's just not necessary. You're
Yeah.
getting the absorption when you pull and it's absorbed in the mucous membrane, if that makes sense. It's just an
Yeah.
unnecessary step that you don't need to get the CBD in your bloodstream.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And you
Is
want to
there,
take it, it seems, and just thinking was rational, you all. When you swallow is an intake that seems as though, I'm not a doctor, but it seems as though you're taking it to your stomach. That's, versus the inhaling and keeping it in that mucous membrane to get to the bloodstream quicker.
Yeah.
right? You know, it just doesn't seem. You swallow a gummy, you swallow food,
Yeah.
you
It's
don't
Thank
swallow
you.
smoke or
right.
vape. Yeah.
Yeah, when you swallow, it will make you cough and irritate the throat.
Yeah, you don't want to take it down that route.
Yeah, so the Delta 8 is coming soon. We'll let you know as soon as it's available. We're just waiting for our certificates of analysis. You know, here at Wakana, we don't release products until it is passed through Dr. Rita, and we've got to make sure that everything is right with our certificates of analysis. Wonderful. Um, any other? So it goes to the bloodstream. And there are receptors in the lungs, there are receptors in the liver, the stomach, the heart, the brain, the teeth. So once the CBD is uh, binds to those receptors in areas that are out of balance, it may be the lungs, it may be the liver, wherever it is. Again, I don't advocate vaping or smoking any smokable products if you have severe lung issues. COPD, emphysema, those are people on oxygen. I wouldn't recommend handing them a vape. I just wouldn't. You have people who have COPD and emphysema and they're still smoking cigarettes. Well, that would be the exception. I would rather have that person use our CBD products and come off of nicotine than continuing to smoke nicotine. So there are always those exceptions, but I would not use a vape or smokable as a first line product for someone who has severe lung issues. Yes.
You know what? A good thing too, you all, is the vapes last a really long time. They really do last. If you're just doing 3 pulls at a time, you know, once or twice a day, you'll have it for a month and a half. You know,
Absolutely.
you will.
So Mary Jones is saying, is it good for people without a gallbladder? Is it good for people without a gallbladder? So the person that doesn't have a gallbladder, what symptoms are they having that they're trying to address? Because that's a very vague and general question, Mary. If you can respond. Gastric. So what do you do with it after taking the 3 pulls? You put it in your pocket, right?
Yeah.
Your purse. And that's what I love about vapes. You know, it's so portable, it's so discreet, it's so small, you know. I'm usually not caught without it, but tonight I am. I usually carry it in my lab coat, honestly. I really do. So that's what you do after you take those 3 pulls. You just put it away and save it for the next 3 pulls. But we recommend 1 to 3 pulls 3 times a day, you know, if you need it that many times. Wonderful. So Mary,
Dr. Rita, can I
oh,
add real quickly?
yes, Erica, please.
Hi, so I'm just going to add to the convenience of it. So I've had instances where I've had it in my pocket. In my purse. I've actually used it in the car. What I love about it is nobody knows I use it because you can't smell it.
No.
So no one knows, right? So that's different for me than using um, our flour or using something else that other people can smell. So I love it that way. So I just wanted to add that.
Yes, thank you, Erica. Thank you so much. I love it too. Indigestion. I think that's what Mary Jones is saying. Yeah. So any sort of gastric, GI, because the endocannabinoid system has receptors in the stomach, it will help to assist with symptoms due to indigestion. also, trying to figure out what foods that person could be eating that could be giving them indigestion. But yes. Diane Brown said, I hope it's okay because I don't have a gallbladder. I've been fine, but I don't have any problems without my gallbladder. Well, that's great. Do you have to remove your cartridge when charging your battery? Yes. If you have the USB one, you got to take the cartridge off, put
Yeah.
the USB on, and plug it up.
Mm-hmm.
Can
And
you
it's
show them that? Can you show them how, when you take that cartridge off, that area there is where you put the USB?
so here, this is a USB. So see, screws right in. Yep, and you charge it. And some of them will have where, it'll come with one that you can plug straight into the laptop. This one you can plug into the laptop. It's just different kinds. If you look at the reviews, if you ever are ordering one of these, because some people will order and they'll say mine burned out too fast or whatever the case may be. When I bring in any, I always look at the reviews, feel free to reach out to me, I will make it available. But like Dr. Rita said, it's on Amazon. Just look at the reviews. Look at the reviews. But it's so simple, you all. It's not overly complicated. Twist it. Same, let me show you. Same spot. This is it's Raspberry Jane. I love Raspberry Jane. So, right, untwist, just screw it off. Take the charger. Boom. Plug it in the lap. Do not plug it in the wall. Don't do that. Don't plug it in something that's directly coming from the wall. You'll burn out the battery. But plug it into a laptop, desktop, something like that. Because it doesn't take much. Yeah. And
Thank you so much. Well, we're super excited about this Delta 8 THC watermelon cartridge that will be out very soon. We'll let you know as soon as it hits it's on the website. You can't order it yet, but you'll be able to do that very shortly. If there's no other questions, thank you so much, Erica, Zachary. Thank you, Minister Mooney. Thank you, Kathy Weathersby. Thank you guys so much, our business partners, our guests. And if you're a guest on the line, please contact the person that invited you so that you could get on the Saturday call. You could hear more about our business, the opportunity, all of our products. We want to thank you. We're going to see you next Wednesday night. We're going to see you next year. That's when we're going to see you. Next year, 2021. We're excited. Have a great, great evening. There's a lot of questions about, do you have to unscrew the cartridge when you are not using it? Yes.
I would.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would. Just the battery, you just want to unscrew. Yeah, you keep your little container or have your little pouch. There's so many different things. You want to make sure that this stays intact, right? Our cartridge. You pay enough money for it, so be careful with it.
Yeah. Keep it in the little container it comes in.
Yeah, keep it in the container.
Yeah.
Unless you're just at home and you're keeping it in one spot, take care of it. Treat it well, I won't say that, but anyway.
So what's the name of the battery on Amazon?
There's so many. I like Puff Buddy. Like I have a whole you all, I'm like,
You are a
I love
Puff
Wakanda.
Buddy, for
I
real.
Oh my God. Wait, you can just buy it from Minister Moody. Can you show that again?
Minister Mooney said, "You're not getting in my stash."
That's right.
Puff Buddy. Wow.
Yeah.
This is an ooze one. This is ooze, and it has an adjustable
Yep, the adjustables.
thing here.
Yeah. And
There's
you'll
so
see,
many you can choose from, right?
yeah, so pay attention, the voltage, see?
Yeah.
Yeah. So low, I look for low voltage. So yeah, contact me, or yeah, I'm someone you can trust.
But why did you do air quotes though?
You know how people say you can trust? Yeah, right.
If they tell you that they trust you with the air quotes, they're great
Nah, I
Love
love,
presentation,
you
Dr.
guys.
Rita.
Love you
yeah,
guys.
if you all are ordering, just make sure you get that Delta. We only have 1,000 units
Right.
of the 500 in watermelon, 500 in lemonade. You want it? I'm getting a lot of them. I'm just letting you know. I'm not gonna run out.
So when it says out of stock, we'll know who
Yes.
has.
Y'all see, look, let me give you a hint. I bought these in because Delta 8 is coming. You see that? It's about 48 batteries.
Oh, no, you
That
can't.
sounds like a businessman ready to sell Delta 8.
Unfortunately, you can't pre-order, but just watch out for the Facebook announcement, and we will say good night. Happy New Year. Love
Happy
you
New
all.
Year.
See you next year.
All right, God bless.
God bless.